Hey, hello everybody. It's your boy Dre, and it has been, Lord, when I think about it now, it's been several weeks since I've actually been able to be on a live and see how everybody's doing and just kind of talk about what's been going on. I feel absolutely chuffed, remiss, mentally clearer. Let me explain. So several weeks ago, actually um, back in early March, I found out that due to some of my health concerns, that I was going to be I was diagnosed with a high risk for type 2 diabetes, which has been very prevalent in my both sides of my family, on my father's side and on my mother's side. And that concern really weighed on me. Not to mention that other already there, like the arthritis and eczema, all being very well made with medicines and holistic treatments that I take. But it was still, you know, that diabetes there that it really kind of resonated. Andre, how does this have any relevance to the title you've chosen, which is the last, the final Wednesday show? Well, at work, I have opted to change my schedule. And with that changing my schedule, I decided that I needed to get to a better place mentally so that the body will heal. So I shifted my schedule, which mentally is going to be better for me. It's already given me a lot of motivations and positivity. In all honesty, I've lost since I have begun this change in my diet. I have dropped 7 pounds, almost a total of 10 pounds in 8 weeks. So I've dropped from 251 to 241. And I feel better, mentally clearer. Um, it's just, it's such a great feeling that I'm going to miss it doing the Wednesday shows, but I, I like the way I've geared my schedule. Do I not want to do Wednesday shows anymore? Of course, I would love to, but my new work schedule, like I said, is it's going to dictate that. So here's how the work schedule is going to be going moving forward. I will be off 3 days a week. I'll be working 4 days a week, really 4 days, and then like a quarter of a Saturday. Now, I like it because I'll be up earlier. It provides me more opportunities to have more energy and get the family and I on a semi-regular schedule, which is what was the big issue, is that I haven't been on a regular schedule with the family. It's been kind of like a roller coaster, so to speak. It's like we are either all on the same schedule or we're all on a radically different ones. And that throws the whole house off. And the fact that I've been able to have dinner with my family and relax with my family and spend, you know, more time talking to my wife and talking with the girls and just seeing the girls having more time with each other and just that it makes a huge difference, big difference in my life. And that to me is what matters the most. Um, so going forward, I will be working Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays. from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That'll be my new work schedule. Now, does that mean I will not participate in things? No, I'm already actively participating in KBGs or Colbane games. If you don't know, Baldur's Gate 3 stream he does every Wednesday. I will probably be playing Fortnite earlier on Fridays. I'm still part of the squad again on Colbane Games channel. Big shout out to my brother Aaron. I will be now the Outer Dimensions podcast. What's going on with me and Dave? We have radically not that we don't want to, like, I want to address some concerns because I have had people reach out to me again saying, are you and Dave okay? Yes, I talk to Dave every day. We are good. It's just life is kicking both our asses right now. Like, we have a lot going on. We're trying to mitigate both our schedules and just get to a homeostasis where we can get back to doing the show. Nothing is wrong. Y'all should know me by now. If there's an issue, I address it. Dave and I are good. We're A-okay. Now, as far as what's going to happen with the comic book chats, I'm probably going to move that show, or it'll be a recorded show. I'll probably be putting up on Saturday evenings or Sunday afternoons. Why is it going to be that way? Because I'm off on Sundays and I'm off Saturday afternoons. And I'll be going to work out at the gym on Saturday afternoon. Some Saturdays, it might be Sundays, it depends. And I'll be able to film, what I get from those hauls for comic books, because I will no longer be able to go to the shop on Wednesdays, which stinks, but hey, it is what it is. Now, I do feel physically, there has been some physical issues. Like, I've had some flare-ups of my RA that have been making me feel kind of poop. And I'm sorry that I haven't been as more active in the communities that I'm a part of. And, that's just the way the cookie crumbles on some things. Does it mean I don't want to be in there? Yes. It does not mean that I don't love you guys. I do love you guys. I miss, I have to take care of my health first, because my family and my job and my health come first, and the only reason my job comes first is because it provides the insurance and the ability for me to do things. Now, with all that being said, the question now lies, Dre, has there been any pickups? Comic book wise, there has been, and I do actually have last week's books, because I didn't show those. At least I don't think I did. And there's some toy pickups, because a lot of pre-orders that import toys came in. So let's go over this one. This is the Ghost Rider Final Vengeance variant cover, the Stormbreakers cover, which I absolutely love. This issue number 2. Now, for many people that have asked, why do I like this book? I liked it because I remember growing up as a kid and loving the show. So the Planet of the Apes, this is Beware of the Planet of the Apes, issue number 4. Totally love that Marvel has that Dark Horse license, and they're doing banger after banger of those books. This is the 7th book of Captain Marvel. My wife reads this. I don't read it. I just lost interest in the new art's cool. The story's just not appealing to me, but my wife loves Captain Marvel, so it's for her. This is a banger of a series, the Cobra Commander. And for those of you that don't know, this exists in the same universe that Duke, the new G.I. Joe, and the new Transformers books are being written in. So it's the multiverse for Hasbro. Now, I don't know why I picked this up. I forgot. I like Hack Slash. My friend John, many, many years ago, I had a friend named John, and I do have several friends named John, but he lives in Virginia, and he got me into Hack Slash because I read one of his books. He had the graphic novel. Never bought it, never went and picked it up, and then they started doing a Hack Slash series. There's 2 of them concurrently. So this is issue 4, and I have to pick up 1, 2, and 3. I totally forgot to get them, so I have to do that. This is a banger of a series, and it's a little pricey, but very much worth it. It is the Hellblazer deal in Dead in America. This is the Constantine is like basically a walking corpse and trying to survive hiding out from demons in America. It's in the Gaiman universe, the Neil Gaiman dude. Love that stuff. Issue number 19 of Miles Morales. Y'all know I'm not gonna even say anything. Love me, Miles. This is actually a really cool book, The Spectacular Spider-Men. It is a team-up book for Miles and Peter. Love this style of series. Definitely a good book. Spider-Boy, very interesting. I was talking about this with a coworker yesterday. He works in IT, and he is like a huge Spider-Man fan. So I was telling him like, hey, you should be checking out this book series. It's recent. It's good. Now, What If has been killing it as a TV series, but I love the comic books, and this comic book is fire. This is the What If Venom. So this is like a whole like take on a Venomverse What If saga. And this is issue number 3. And I know this is like a short run series. I think it's going to be like the Miles Morales one that they did last year, where it was a 5-book run. If they did this as a whole series run, I'd be happy. But yeah. And currently I'm waiting for May for Blood Hunt, because that's going to be dope. This is like the vampire saga. And they're saying that some major heroes are going to die. And Marvel usually doesn't like, I know they let us know when these things happen, but I'm excited nonetheless. And then obviously the variant cover for Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther, which is a banger of a book. If y'all ain't reading this book, I don't know why not. It is a banger. What was it? They just my store has reissues of issue 1 and issue 2, and this is a variant cover. I was able to get there Wednesday to get a variant cover, as I'll be going today to hopefully pick up my Ultimate Spider-Man 4 and try to grab a variant cover for that, because Scott Campbell's been doing a lot of artwork, and I love me some Scott Campbell, so I got to get my hands on that. And there are some toy pickups I'll go over, and there are 2 pickups that have not come in. And I dare I use the word grail, but I will use the word grail. And the reason I'm using the word grail is quite simple, because I would say I think every collector has what I would like to believe is called the grail pieces. Like books you need to have, toys you need to have, an object, something that just screams to you that you need, right? So I was lucky enough to sell some stuff off, and I picked up, obviously everybody knows I picked up, and he's right, you can see him right here. That is the Bucky from Winter Soldier, Cap and the Winter Soldier TV series from the MCU, Disney Plus. That is the hot toy, a Bucky, and I've showed off that I got the Cap hot toy. The Falcon with his Cap, or I should just call him by his name, Sam Wilson. Now, I go on to a place I did not think I would. Dave, I blame you for this in a good way. I went onto eBay, and I have been trying to hunt down a decently priced Spider-Gwen from either Spider-Verse or Across the hot toy. Why? Because I've wanted to get toy releases from those movies. And I was cherry picking because I already pre-ordered the Evil Miles as the Prowler and Spider-Punk. Like those 2 I already have pre-ordered through my comic shop. And I think I also pre-ordered the Spider-Man 2099 Across the Spider-Verse as well. So I knew I was going to get those 3, but I needed a Miles, I needed a Gwen, and I know they're going to do like there's been rumor talks, and I'm not really in the 1/6 collecting community, but I do have friends that are, and they've mentioned that there is talks that they are looking to do like Spider-Man from India. They're looking to do like Spider-Man Noir, and I'm like, yes, please do. Am I going to get rid of the 1/12 scale figures? Hell no, because those are going to go on my display, which I'm going to be working on. But it is like a necessity to have those. So I caught a deal for Spider Gwen that I could not pass up. She was brand new in box, never revealed, never removed with the shipper for like $200. And every place I've seen her online, either through other stores in other states, because I've even reached out to friends that live like in Florida, in California, in Texas, and New York, and they've looked. My brothers even looked for me. Hey, Phil, what's good? And I was like, I was like, I need to get this hot toy, but I'm not spending like everybody quoted me 350 up. The max I think I heard her cap out was like $500, and I said, man, that's just I'm not going to spend that much money. And I lucked out that I go on eBay because Dave's like, hey, dude, just take a look at eBay. You never know. And I'm like, all right, I hate eBay, but I'll take a look. And lo and behold, I came across one, and the listing was for I think two 250 or 225. And I was like, that's about half of what I'd pay. It's brand new, in with the shipper. The dude lives in Virginia, and it's never been displayed. I was like, okay, like you never been displayed. It comes with all the pieces. Nothing's wrong with it. I'm like, all right, what the hell? I'll put an offer in because it says our best offer. So I put in the offer. Like I was like $200, and I was like, I'm probably not gonna get this. Man, like a week goes by and the guy doesn't respond, and I finally get an email like your offer was accepted. I literally just was like, oh my god, I can't believe I scored one of my grails. Hey, Mega. And I was like, wow, I was floored. Like literally, if I were to go to my grail list of like taking things off, that's number four off my, like not even number four. That was like number three on my list. Number one, sorry, number two on my list was a Miles Morales hot toy, and number one is a Voltron, which I cannot spend $1,000 for the Voltron I want because it is like gorgeous. So Chokojin, if you guys can come down in price like to 400, I could convince my wife maybe to help me out with it. But there's no way I could drop $1,000 on it. And I would die because I'd love to have the original Go Lion metal diecast Voltron. But again, I digress. So I look and I come across and I said, you know what? Let me just put Miles Morales. What the hell? What's the worst I'm going to come across? That if they have a listing that's, every listing that was on every listing on eBay was like, and Mercari was like $399. Is this true? Well, I'm explaining. Well, I'll explain, Mega. Let me explain this part, and I'll go back and I'll recap for why it's the last show. It's not the last. I might be moving. I'm going to be moving the show. It's just I'm explaining. I'm going over the reasons as to some other stuff, and I'll go back. Okay, I promise. So I typed in Miles Morales, and like again, like I did like the Mercari. I've listened to some Whatnots, and I've looked at Whatnot, and I hate Whatnot, but I've looked at it a few times, and every hot toy for Miles was like $400, $500, 350, and I was like, man, that it's like if I was like for that price at 300, I could just order it from Sideshow, get free shipping, and pay it monthly, right? That's what I was thinking. And at one point, I really was heavily considering it. I was like, there's the 2020 suit from Spider-Man that I really liked, from that I would really love to get. And I was like, man, but he's like 290, brand new. I mean, with light up features and everything, still looks dope. But I was like, I don't want that one. I want the Into or Across the Spider Verse. Across the Spider Verse, he is impossible to find because he is still not yet to be released from supposedly people. Now, this is where I've been trying to understand. Again, I'm not in the 1/6 scale game, so I've been trying to figure it out. I've heard he hasn't been released, but he was released like in a limited number, and that there was a variation on the Into the Spider Verse, and then there was another company that at the same time that did a version of Miles, whatever. At the end of the day, I found an Into the Spider Verse Miles again, $250. And I was like, there's no way that the toy gods are blessing me with low numbers like this. There's got to be something wrong with it. And the dude, dude has great feedback. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, there's got to be something wrong with this. Like, I have to believe that, right? And I'm digging through, and I find out, and I read the auction. I reached out to the dude, and again, or best offer. I was like, man, 250 is steep for one that's in an ecstatic pose for, a while, and he has the shipper box and everything. I was like, I'll take a stab. 190. Your boy got his miles. So for the cost of one brand new, I got two Hot Toys that I've wanted, Grails. I have scratched the number 2 and 3 Grails off my list. I'm accomplished as a collector. I'm good. Like the rest of this year, if I don't win anything off that Grail list, I have scratched the itch. I have done exactly what I needed to do. I am happy. And that's a rarity to say that as a collector, but to say that I could scratch 2 Grails within a few weeks of each other, that's a win. So when I get those in, I will definitely do a Tuesday live. I know Gwen should be here on Friday, and Miles should be here on Wednesday of next week. So I might do something on the Saturday, like a Saturday recorded, to put it out on Sunday. Now, well, don't message me, Mega, because I'm going to be busy on a live stream with KBG. Quickly, I will let you know that the show is being moved. I may do it on Tuesday afternoons because I'll be home more and I'm off from work. So it's a TBD. And that Tuesday show will probably be just me talking about some news and stuff like that. It'll be like this, structured. I may actually do some interviews. I may bring people on to just chat with me for an hour. And that's where I'm kind of keeping it. So Phil, you better be looking for your box because I might be talking to you about that coming on a Tuesday and hanging out with me. So that's the thing. It was the final Wednesday show, but it's not the final show ever. I'm not leaving YouTube or anything like that, Mega. So just to let you know, I'm still here and alive and kicking. All right. But yeah, like that's that. I do have, like I said, I do have some pickups. I'm just looking around here to see. So this is one that just, yeah, you did retire, but I'm gonna bring you out of retirement. That to me is bullshit. I'm gonna bring you out of retirement because like you're one of my brothers. I don't play that. You can still hang out with me on my show. Just because you retired doesn't mean you retired, because we ain't that old for this shit. So yeah, this is the stealth suit Captain America from Winter Soldier Mafex figure. I do love the new packaging for these figures. This is very different than their typical Mafex packaging. Usually some of these boxes are like a little wider. And if not, they're a little wider. They're sometimes like they usually will have like a slip cover. But I love that we get both shields. You get the stealth shield, and then you get the regular Captain America. Oh, of course. Thank you, brother. I love hanging out with you too. And of course, you get the poses from the movie. I mean, I absolutely loved that movie. It's in my top of MCU movies. It's in my top 3 favorite MCU movies. So getting this Cap, and he's one of my top 3 favorite superheroes. Obviously, you all know it's Spider-Man, Cap, and Batman tie for number 2. And then 3, I'm gonna probably leave 3 as a Kamen Rider because I love Kamen Rider. So yeah, but that's this one. Now I do have a different figure that I picked up, and this is actually from a company that a lot of people probably don't know of. Or if you do know it because you are a collector, and I know Phil would know this one because he collected Transformers, 3-0. And this is the 3-0 1/12 scale Valiant Comics figure for Bloodshot. Now, this is a reimagining of the newer character of Bloodshot. Now, the interesting thing about this is I had pre-ordered this through Amazon, and it was supposed to get released, and it got delayed to like where they were like TBD. And I was like, it was the same price, and I forgot that I had pre-ordered it on Big Bad Toys. So Big Bad Toys pings my bank account, and I'm like, okay, well, it was like for $75. I was like, so what's this? It's the figure, and I was like, oh shit, cool. But there's no like, all you see is the product images on the top. There's like no, so I'm a little mad that we don't get like what Mafex does, where you can see like, here, I'll put the boxes side by side. Like, one of the things as a collector I kind of like live for is to see, where I could see poses that you guys took to do some advertising. I read Japanese, so I can read this. I don't read Chinese, so I can't read this. There is some Japanese on its in English, but you know, it definitely, this box art and the box marketing, not really like speaking to me. But again, I'm gonna do some reviews. I'm gonna try to catch up on the weekends. Between some downtime with my family, because like I said, this is for a lot of people that don't know. My wife is in grad school. She's pursuing her third master's and looking at doing a PhD program for her doctorate. And I'm 100% supportive of her for this. And she works as a teacher. And for me, I work from home, and I'm doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. But at the same time, time is a commodity that we all, who anybody that has kids and a wife and family, or significant other and kids, it's tough. And you got to capitalize on all those moments, especially when your kids are little. When they're teens, you capitalize on it even more, because it's time is precious, and it's a commodity we always are losing. So in between the time I spend with my family, if we're not too busy, I'm going to take some time away to do some toy reviews, some, I'm going to be fixing up my display. Like, I'm going to go through, like, everybody sees this stack of stuff right here. That is all stuff that I'm going to be going through and looking to list and sell and or trade. I do have the Marvel Legends re-release of the stealth suit cap that they put in the new boxing. Um, I offered it to Dave. He doesn't want it. I love Dave, so I'll give him first cracks at all my stuff. Most of the brothers in the chat, in the Collector Safe Space chat, I always give a first crack at it if they want them, because I know they're usually looking for them. So if you are interested and you do want to trade, you can comment on this video, this live video, or you can go on my Instagram, Dre of the Collector Safe Space, and hit me up and say if you want to trade. And because I am looking for some, there are 4 Marvel Legends I'm looking for, because I know that they're never going to make Mafexes of them. It's the reissue of the Walgreens. It's not the reissue. It's the Magic Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legend, the Mr. Sinister VHS box, the Morph VHS box, and I need a Mezco, or I don't know if Mafex is going to do it, so I don't know if I want to go Mezco Cable. So that's those that I'm looking for. Now, for a lot of other people, they didn't know that I do collect physical media, so I have picked up some movies. I picked this up on not Mother's Day, on Easter. I picked up Iron Claw because I loved this movie, very fantastic. I picked up Night Swim at Target last week. I picked up Night Swim when it came out, so I haven't watched it yet, but I do need to. I have Oppenheimer. I have a lot of the good movies I've wanted. I'm waiting for Godzilla -1, which is coming to Amazon on May the 3rd, so you can watch it. It's an amazing movie, so you should watch it. But I'm waiting for the Steelbook Blu-ray release of that, and then I'm waiting for The Boy and the Heron, because Lana and my daughter and I want to watch it, and I'm trying to wait for that to come out on Blu-ray, and that's supposed to release, I think they said, in August. So at post GalaxyCon, we'll probably be picking that up and watching it. Now, also, for those of you that don't know, I love Sentai. When I say Sentai, that's not the Japanese porn, that is hentai. This is Sentai, is in Power Rangers, but in Japan, where it originated. Now, if you guys haven't watched my brother from another Dave's Dimension, his video on like if with Power Rangers kind of tanking here in the States, and Hasbro moving the line over to Playmates, Great content, great video to watch. You should be watching it. If you haven't, go subscribe to his channel and watch it. But I kind of brought Dave over to the Japanese side because in his video, which I did watch, he made a comment about like, oh, you all should be watching more Sentai. And he's correct. Kamen Rider and Power Rangers, which is called Bakugane. The new series is called Bakugane Bunjer. And it is basically loosely translated into Crank Up Boon Bonjer. And this is the actual device, the morphing device that they wear on their wrist. Now, there are several other pieces to this that I have pre-ordered that are not going to be due out till later this month, going into June. So this is the device that they use to transform. And then you have to get the car. There's like a little car device that you can put on the morpher, and it morphs with that device. So it has like other things. So I am waiting for that. And if anybody didn't know, I got back into the cosplay stuff because, and I'm going to show this here. People have been wondering, you said, hey, Dre, I heard you doing a Ghostbusters cosplay. Well, I am. And the Ghostbusters cosplay was a hybrid cosplay. And since Ernie Hudson is going to be at GalaxyCon Raleigh this year, I will be going to get a picture. My wife, myself, and my kids, because we all love Ghostbusters, we're going to get a picture with him. But I'm going to be dressed up in cosplay. Now, I'm not doing the full cosplay because I haven't been able to get the helmet from Rex yet, because Millennium Workshop and I have not had a chance to discuss this because I didn't have the funds at the time. Now that I'm working, I might be able to work out some sort of payment arrangement so we can get that helmet made for me, but I'm not going to have it in time for Raleigh Super. Just I have too many other things coming up that I'm indebted to, as well as a trip coming up in December. So that the helmet won't be this year, it'll probably be next year. But the Ghostbusters outfit, and the biggest piece I needed was Ghostbusters X Kamen Rider. And now there was a Kamen Rider series called Kamen Rider Ghost, where the driver was was using spirits of past people to transform, and he would get superpowers. So I couldn't find the driver. I got the driver. It works. I tested it. I'm happy. It is a very interesting style driver. It uses what they call icons, and I'm trying to grab them here. So this is the Nobunaga. So Oda Nobunaga, one of the daimyos of Japan. You put this in the driver, and then it will go like, Henshin Nobunaga. And then there is also, sorry, you guys are seeing my wife's, I have my wife's card and Target receipts here on my desk. And this is I got some trash on that. There's the Edison icon. So these are the two icons that they come. There's three icons you get. You get this one, Edison. That this was an eBay auction I got for $50. Again, this driver is from the original from 2017, 2016 when the show came out. So like, this is an original from Japan that you can't get here, and the reissues of these are like $200. So I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get this for my cosplay in time. I'm sad. And then I was able to snag it up. This thing is dope, and you do get the ghost icon, which is currently in the driver. I left it in there when I was testing it. So very happy. I love these things. I was a very big fan many years ago, and I bought all these drivers, and I'm kicking myself now because all the drivers are like $400 plus to get my hands on them. So some of the drivers I will be trying to get the original version because they have what's called the DX modifications, which are like belt extenders, because as big dudes can't get a belt around our waist. So you could buy some what they call the belt extenders. And then they did what they call the DX modification, which is the TV size with the light up sound effects belts. Now, those are the ones that they're being reissued. I have currently the Gotchard driver, which is the current Kamen Rider show, which I have the cards, the Kemi cards I have to open up. I just pre-ordered the volume 4 of the Kemi cards, and I have almost every device to get every card from the series, because there's like 300 cards you need to get. And unless they do a special, which they probably will, when they release the movie in Japan, when they sell the movie tickets, they probably will release specialty Kemi cards for that. I'll probably have to hunt that down. But I do have the Gotchard driver. I have this right here, which is one of the 2 devices you needed to do. This is the train, and they have this is an attachment to the front of the driver, and then it comes with 2 cards, and then you have to get the Hoppa, the hopper. Now this little piece in the middle, that's the train. He pops out, and the hopper one goes in, and the hopper one comes with, as you can see here, 2 cards. So that's this, and then I have the villain, or I shouldn't say the villain. I think he's the alternate driver, the alternate rider. I have his wrist launched transformer or henshin device. I just recently pre-ordered. It was the Boombanger axe, the steering wheel sword gun that I could get for because your device is needed to activate all those other cool sound effects. And I did the Hopper adjustment piece. I did the I'm trying to remember. There's a igniter driver piece attachment you can buy for the belt that I just saw on Amazon. And then there's 2 more weapons. Now the weapons are kid-sized weapons. I'm not happy about that, but they're really cool because they have great light up effects, and they're not super pricey if you get them from Amazon. If you get them through Big Bad Toys or through like Ranger Toys, they're a little pricey because they do charge an upcharge for the import fees. So some of the stuff is very expensive, and I'm lucked out that I've been able to catch good deals on them because I've seen people from Japan sell them on Amazon for, a fair price, for like $40, $50, because they're attachment pieces, not the actual driver itself. I am going to address something, and this is kind of like the last of the pickups because I don't have any other pickups. I've got to go to the comic book store today. Actually, I do lie. I do have pickups. Stupid me. So I got into a comic book series called The Ministry of Compliance, and I have, for the longest time, had issue number 2. And my comic book store has been trying to find it. I don't know why this comic book has been so difficult to find. Issue 5 comes out today. So I hope that they'll have my copy of issue 5 in when I go pick it up. And I'm looking for issue number 1 because I have it here somewhere. But I was able to get offline Ministry of Compliance issue number 3 and Ministry of Compliance issue number 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 finally, so I can actually read all the books. And I'm excited about that because not all the time are you able to oh, here it is. Sorry, folks. So this is Ministry of Compliance number 1. And the way this book series was kind of pitched, to the way I could, understand it, was think of it like Equilibrium. If you guys ever saw the movie Equilibrium with Christian Bale and Taye Diggs and Sean Bean, where they, that there's certain things that are outlawed and like emotions, and they're the gun monks. It's very much like that kind of sci-fi in that universe, and it's a weird take on it. And I've been wanting to, when I saw that, I was like, that sold me. I was like, I loved Equilibrium. It's a very underrated movie, and I was like, I love comic books, so it's a perfect marriage. But I could not, for whatever reason, this book series has been flying off the shelves, or it's not flying off the shelves in that regard. I think it's my shop didn't order enough copies, and there was only a few people that really wanted it. So they only ordered like a limited run and then they ran out, and then they never reissued like second versions of it. So I had to go grab the original, like this is a used copy, somebody's used copy that they were selling. So I don't care about that sort of stuff because I'm not like gonna get like books graded or anything like that. Like I will eventually at some point get a graded book for the Spider-Man collection. There are two I want for that. Um, but Ministry of Compliance, I was like, I'm not gonna pay. Like I don't need a graded $50 virgin cover with no text on it. I just want the books I could read it, you know. So I was able to score the two issues, the three issues I was missing, and now issue 5 comes out today, so I can finally read all 5 today and be caught up. And like I said, it seems cool. Like I like Boom Comics, and if I'm not mistaken, it's Boom Studios. No, it's IDW. I apologize. So IDW has a very cool linked universe for, like I said, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, and I'm excited. And I will mention this before I depart. If you guys have not had a chance to donate to the Ride for Roswell, yes, I'm speaking about the Ride for Roswell. Why? Because I am co-sponsoring 2 boxes as giveaways for this, for Dave. You know, Dave and his wife, 2 great people. You know, they've lost people to cancer. I was reading Roxanne, Dave's wife's Facebook post, and I loved it. And you know, it really it resonated with me because I lost my aunt, my uncle, and my mother, and my one of my cousins to cancer. It is a horrible disease. You know, it's an illness that you don't like seeing the people go. You know, and Dave is watching somebody fight this battle now that he cares about in his family. And I was like, you know, what can I told Dave, I was like, the first thing when I read what the Ride for Roswell was, I said, how can I help you? And you know, we weren't getting a lot of traction. And I'm going to speak on this so Dave doesn't. If people are trying to stagger the interest in this by telling people don't go to watch the video, fuck off. Dave is a great guy. This is a good cause. And if you don't understand that when we are doing these things to support people that are facing a terminal, that could be potentially facing a terminal illness, as I have lost people and several other people we know have lost people to this illness. If there's a way we can support people that can get the treatment they need to hopefully battle this, and it's a donation, or you don't even have to donate if you can't, because I have 2 donations because I have donated money myself, and I will be giving Dave the 2 names on the list of who he can use as people that could be gifted these donations. You know, if you don't want the prize packages, that's fine. But just so you know, there are some banger prizes in here. Dave has a NECA box. I have a Mythic Legion that I have thrown in to a separate box by itself. It's a $50 figure. That's a right there, $50 giveaway. Just by itself. And then I'm also with the local comic shop I go to, we've curated a $50 mixed comic box. It has 2 graphic novels in it and several comics from stuff that I purchased, stuff that they donated. So that box values at about $75, you know, by itself. So yeah, I wanted you guys to take a second if you can, go reach out, go to Dave's page. It's on all Dave's social medias. I've shared it on social media. Ride for Roswell. Donate, send Dave or myself the you don't have to show us like your personal information, but we do need your IG handle. We do need to know your real name and like an email address so that if you do win on May 18th, we are doing the raffle. Dave's going to be doing a live stream and doing the wheels. Those are 2 boxes. Now I am working on a 3rd box with 4 Horsemen Studios to get some signed figures to throw in. And that's going to be a value of at least $100 plus. So Being that I'm trying to work on that third box, I'm donating 2 boxes personally. Plus, I've donated cash because, again, I believe in this. If you don't even want to, even if you don't want to donate, talk about it. Share out what Dave and I have done on social media. Okay, that's all we ask. All right, and like I said, to the haters that are trying to hate on this video, if they do, for that, kiss my ass. You know, this is I've lost family to cancer, and I've lost friends to cancer, and you know, if I can help save a life, that matters more to me than petty bullshit. So that's where I'm leaving that at. So it is 45 minutes. I've been talking. I am thirsty. I've got to get ready to go to the comic book shop, and then I'm going to come back home, or I have to go over some errands. Again, folks, this is the last Wednesday show. I am sad that it's the last Wednesday show, but it is not the last show ever. Like I said, I'll probably be moving to Tuesdays. It'll be structured for an hour. It'll be an hour. It'll be starting around noonish. I'm gonna be like Nerdy Coffee. It's noonish, and then it'll end around 1ish. So if it starts at 12:30, it'll end at 1:30. If it starts at 1, it'll end at 2. But usually the noonish, I'm gonna say 12:30, 12:15, 12:30. It's about 1:30, 1:15, 1:30. That's what we're gonna be doing, and it'll be doing the same thing, talking toy news. I'll be bringing people on, interacting with the chat. During your work hour. It's like the lunch hour with Trey. Comic chats will be moved to a different day. Like I said, I'll probably pre-record them on Saturday afternoon, or once I'm done with work and going to the gym, and then going to getting the books at the shop and come back home. I'll probably record later in that evening and then upload it for Saturday night or Sunday, and you'll be able to see that on a Sunday early in the day. Okay. I know the videos are inconsistent. I know the lives have been inconsistent, but life is what it is. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Mega for coming in. Phil, I'm going to be reaching out to you. Again, it feels good to be back, and I hope you guys are all well. I love you guys, girls, that support this. Please, again, love, support. That's all it is. The community is a community. It ain't a community if we're going to be hating on each other. All right. Peace, love, chicken grease, y'all. I'll catch you on the flip side.